All right, guys, welcome back. It's the long-awaited, promised YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame induction speeches. We've got the class of 2022 here. We've got George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards. We've got Dave at Dave's Midlife Card Crisis. We've got Vince at New York Yanks Fan 7, not New York Yankees Fan 7. And Bart over at Bart's Cards. We're going to go through all of the speeches here, give a chance everybody to have a few minutes to share their moment as they're inducted officially into the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. And once they make those speeches, they'll get one of these bad boys. I got them in the mail, so I'll get them out to you guys after this. I'll get y'all's addresses and get them out to you. All right, so first up, the leading vote getter for the class of 2022, George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards. The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. It's a real honor to be inducted with these guys. I feel like it's just it's a wonderful thing in the community with the whole sports card community, and all of the subscribers of all the channels here are just awesome, and we can't go on continue to make content and keep it fresh without the subscribers, without the feedback. And it's really a cool thing to be able to interact with the community. And now I haven't been making videos close to as long as Vince or Dave or Bart, but I will tell you that just those guys have influenced me too. I remember watching Vince when he was Darth Fungus, looking at some of his videos, not knowing what his name was, but and just watch him and saying, oh wow, this guy really like what he collects. I remember how Nate Tops 85401, how I watched his videos, and he was saying how he had people who nobody in his, well, not nobody, but few people in his life were interested in his card collecting anyway. And then he connected with this great YouTube community out there. So it's really a wonderful privilege to be part of that and meet all these different people. You know, and in my own sports card life, I started to think about, well, why am I a sports card collector? And it began with we began with kids on my block, and then my grandfather really promoted this because he grew up doing the Babe Ruth era, actually. And then my mom helped me out a lot, and then I got out of it. And I got out of it after high school or late in high school, but got back into it. And anyway, with the help of my son, got me back into it, and then my other sons, and then my wife supported me in it. So it's just kind of a long process of lifetime of sports card collecting. But it's really an honor to be part of this. It's an honor to have people vote for you. It's an honor to have people watch your videos, and it's really cool to be inducted with these four other guys. So thank you so much. Appreciate all your work, Jake, and all Mike's work in the past that he's done on this. So I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody else.
Thank you, George. Welcome again to the hall, my friend. So second up, their induction speech, Bart's Cards. The floor is yours.
Hey, tubers. Bart coming at you. I got a couple things to say. Really just thanks and promises of what I have to offer there. First and foremost, thanks to the hobby. It's been a lifetime of enjoyment for me. It started, I hate to admit it sometimes, but it started by stealing packs of 1990 Score football from Kmart after church. Eventually threw those out because I was scared I'd get caught. And I eventually went proper with how I collected and things like that. But it's been a lifetime of enjoyment for me. Thanks to the community. The hobby was kind of a solo endeavor for me for most of my life. And after seeing some videos on YouTube, I started making videos in about 2013. And since then, it's been enriching my life. It's been giving me joy, interacting with the community, connecting with with people. And I've enjoyed that so much. And it's given me an outlet, a safe space, if you will, to, you know, hell sometimes just to escape from the rigors of the real world, as we, you know, we're all adults, you know, we've got lives and families and things outside of the community, and to come here in this safe space, it's been awesome. Thanks to all those that supported me along the way as well. the watchers, the commenters, my fellow video makers, those that I became friends with, those that I've yet to meet, and the voters that made this day possible, that gave me a shout out, gave me a tip of the cap, if you will. That was awesome. I got a lot of votes from folks that I didn't necessarily know I was making an impact with, especially based on the differences in our collections and things. So it was awesome to see that they reciprocate their interest despite differences in our how we collect and things like that. So that was really cool. I do want to shout out two specific folks, Mike O and Mike Baseball Collector, just because those are two big timers that early on were consistently giving me shout outs and support in such that it brought a whole lot of attention to my page and just grew all of the things that I just, gave thanks for. So I'm appreciative of those two. Promises. I promise to continue on my hobby journey and share it with the community. I promise to be an active contributor and continue to support others in the hobby and community. And I promise to give as much as I can, despite the acknowledgement. It'll never match what the hobby and community have given me up to this point. But thanks everybody for making today possible. I appreciate it. Back over to you, Jake.
Thanks, Bart. Welcome to the my man. So I guess that means I'm up next. And considering I probably won't ever be inducted into the actual Baseball Hall of Fame, I will start this speech the way that I would start that one. First of all, I want to thank God for making all this possible. It might sound corny, but realistically, I'm blessed to have a home, have the disposable income to be able to collect and enjoy this hobby, have internet to be able to be on YouTube and interact with so many great people out there. So I wanted to start with that. Secondly, truth be told, I didn't want to get in the Hall of Fame this year. I really didn't, because I wanted to avoid controversy at all costs. Before it was ever announced that I was going to take over and be the commissioner, Mike said, "Hey man, I'm thinking about voting for you, baseball collector." And I said, "Please don't." I don't want anybody to view that as nepotism or you trying to push for me. Like, please don't vote for me. And he obliged. He left me off the ballot. Now, a lot of people apparently thought that I was worthy of this year. And I will say this, originally I didn't want to go in this year, but I am proud to go in with this group because I actually watch all 4 of these channels religiously. I watch all their content all the time. So that means a lot to me. It made it easy also for my first year to talk to these guys because I watch them. I know their channels. I know their collections. So the Hall of Fame in real life has its Hank Aaron's, its Willie Mays's, its all-time greats, just like we have our Mike O's, our Ed Wesker Griffs, our baseball collectors. The real Hall of Fame has its Rube Waddell. We have Pepino Man. I hope to be our Hall of Fame's Chipper Jones. And the reason I chose Chipper Jones is because he's a left-handed guy like me. He's just a good old Southern boy like I am at heart, and he's a Braves lifer. And that's what I want to be for our YouTube Hall of Fame. And generally, he's liked by everybody, except for Mets fans. Sorry, Dave. But seriously, thank you to everybody for your support, not just for my channel, but for the continuing great event that is the YouTube Sports Hall of Fame and everything it means to me and so many of you guys out there. I hope to keep it going for a very long time. Thank you for your support. Next up, Dave, my friend, Midlife Card Crisis. Let's go.
All right, well, I appreciate it. So I'm going to do this as I always do my videos, unprepared and winging it. So let's just get this rolling. What's up, YouTube? Dave's Midlife Card Crisis here, coming at you with my Hall of Fame speech. So first I want to thank everybody that voted for me. I really appreciate it. Been on YouTube for 8 years, and who would have thought that a guy named Jets fan Dave showing 80s rookies and Geno Smith would be sitting here today. I'd like to congratulate the 4 guys here as well. I'm proud to be with you guys here, getting inducted this year. I just want to give a couple shout outs to some of the important YouTubers that have paved the way for me, I would say. So first, my first person I subscribed to was looking for channels on YouTube of man caves, and I came across a channel called Philly Man Cave. cord. I was pretty amazed, like, wow, these guys you're showing baseball cards, and not obviously what I was looking for when I got on here, but it turned into something really special. From there, I think I found, I would say, the most important guy on my YouTube, I guess not gonna say career, but that was found Big Fat Stack, Dave Blackwell. So I want a big shout out to him. Me and him became close friends rather quickly. And when I was watching his videos, I remember him getting a care package from somebody, and he was super emotional, and super thankful. And watching his videos and seeing people receive stuff from him getting stuff, and all the other guys, all the care packs were sent out to people. I really wanted to be a part of that. I thought it was what a nice gesture that someone would just send you their cards, send you cards of people that you collect. And that's something I loved about the YouTube community, and how generous everybody is, and what kind people everybody is. So that drew me to it. I quickly made videos after, I subbed Philly Man Cave. Loved his name so much that I decided to change my name from Jet Fan Dave to something I think a little bit cooler. So big shout out to him, Dave Blackwell. Together, me and him started Piff Nation. For those who know who it is, it's a Pay It Forward Nation, just a Facebook group filled with YouTubers where we just gave away cards. And I think I made a lot of friendships through that page as well. Got a lot of number of subs on YouTube, but the friendships came from that. Talking through Messenger every day with several people was a big part of me growing in YouTube. Want to give a shout out to Michael Fabian, Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards, for not be one of my best friends here in the sports community, but friend in life. He invited me to my first national, which is really my first opportunity to start meeting some YouTubers face to face, which it's not awkward at all. You meet these guys, like, you've known them forever. It's fantastic. So big shout out to Michael for bringing me to my first national. Like to thank my wife for allowing me to go a stranger in the airport, get a hotel with them in Chicago, and go play with some baseball cards. So shout out to her for letting me do it, even though she was a little nervous about it. And whoever's watching this too, whoever wants to go to national, and your wife's like, you're going where and rooming with who? Just let her know. It's safe. Only here in the YouTube community. So big shout out to Mike O and Ed Westergriff earlier, but we roomed at the National several years in a row, and I really enjoyed their friendship, and not getting to know them, but becoming friends, and like making it every year thing. We're all gonna hang out together. Shout out to that dog in the background barking, saying what's up for Dave. And I said, once again, thank you everybody for voting for me. I do appreciate it. And you have a good night.
Thanks, Dave. Welcome to the hall again, my man. All right, Vince, you have the floor, my friend.
Wow. So first off, I can't believe George remembers me from the Darth Fungus days. And that was 2008 to 2013. I don't think he was on back then. That's pretty impressive. Don't ask about the name. I don't even know why at this point in my life why I chose that name, but hence, got the new name now. So full disclosure, before everybody came on, I was telling Jake that I actually written 5 to 6 minutes worth of comedy material here to roll out in the form of, say, David Spade doing the weekend or the Hollywood Minute on SNL. But with the backdrop of all the other drama that's going on right now on YouTube, I figured I'd just let it go. It wasn't that bad, but certainly it was a little bit provoking. So I'll throw that to the scrap heap, and I'm just kind of winging it. And I will say I'm a little surprised to be here or be inducted into this Hall of Fame. Usually, I have my finger on the pulse a little bit, and I tend to, in the past, have gotten maybe like 10 or 12 votes and maybe a handful of subs out of it because my name gets mentioned here and there by a few people. But when you said I had like 28 or something, I was like very surprised. And, certainly want to thank everybody who mentioned my name. I didn't watch all the videos. I don't know. I'd have to go back and follow the spreadsheet and go back and watch those videos. I mean, I know like YSCHOF and John Mangini and a couple guys, Blue Jacket, like those guys all the time. So to get 28 other people or whatever it was, it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty cool. And I appreciate that. I think part of it is, this particular group is really engagement is, I think, the main criteria to gain entree into this, and that's something I typically, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not much of an engager. I use YouTube like a lot of others as an outlet to essentially show things that I'm excited about acquiring, because nobody in my side of the world gives a crap about what I'm doing with sports cards, right? But however, there are people on YouTube that seem to give a crap, because I like watching videos of people showing what they're giving and what they're collecting. And so therefore I figure people must like some of the stuff. So that's why I do it. I also think that, it's crazy to think, but, the rules probably helped my case this year with regards to, one, how long you've been around before you could actually cast a vote, and two, how long you've been doing videos to be qualified, right? So that was a big help. But it's crazy to think that probably the the thing that put it over the top was the reveal of somebody who might look like the result of a curious lab experiment that combined the DNA of Eugene Levy, Keith Olbermann, and Weird Al Yankovic. Okay, so if that's what it took to get me into this club, then that's great. But I hope people do enjoy the content that I put out. I'll continue to do so. Now I cover a few other disciplines, right? Not just sports cards, but that's the primary thing. So, to that end, I'm certainly, I'm surprised, but grateful that people, think enough to mention my name, to include me with this group. And, I could say, more to come, hopefully. And I think the rule change was excellent. And I think I definitely think that was a good idea that you implemented this year with this. So, yeah, good job there, Jake. And to everybody else, congratulations. And that's it. That's off the cuff. Again, like I said, I have it transcribed, 5 to 6 minutes, and I think it's pretty funny. But maybe I'll do it with Joe sometime on one of our little joint sessions and see what kind of reaction I get. But until then, thank you everybody who cast a ballot for me.
There you go. Welcome to the hall again, Vince. New York Yanks fan 7. Get it right.
Good job.
Okay. So a couple things to close here. First of all, again, congratulations to all of you guys. This is your year. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed giving a little speech and everything that comes with being a YouTube Hall of Famer. If you don't know what that is, watch Pepino Man's video for all your discounts. But in all seriousness, the thing that I want to close with here is twofold. Number one, if you're watching this video, you're what makes this possible. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being a part of this community and making this event great, because if nobody voted and nobody participated, this wouldn't happen. And it wouldn't be as much fun for so many people. So it's not just Hall of Famers that made this possible. It's also all of you. If you're consuming this content, if you voted this year, whatever it may be, if you're commenting on these videos, thank you. Secondly, this is to Mike Baseball Collector. I want to say that he is the Lou Gehrig of our Hall of Fame. And I'll tell you why I chose that analogy to share this with you guys. Number one, it's his favorite player, so he's going to appreciate that. But number two, his consistency within this community to start this whole YouTube Hall of Fame to begin with and do it year after year after year, because he felt like it was a good thing to do, regardless of any criticism he got or anything like that. Kudos to you, my man. And like Lou Gehrig, who knew when to step away for the betterment of the team, you did the same. And I'm not saying that because you chose me, but you knew that the Hall of Fame needed changes and someone else needed to take the reins, and you wanted to see it continue to be a success and keep going. Good on you, Mike. Appreciate you, man. All right, that's all I wanted to end with. I hope you guys enjoyed watching everybody's speeches. Until next time, keep collecting, and God bless.